Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Recently you asked me to sublimate the men's boxer shorts, and we did that in a video just recently. You can see I'd made these. I thought they were really cute. Those are pictures of my son's dogs. I'll try to remember to link that video right here. But the second most requested thing was to see the women's sports bra. So we're going to be sublimating that today. We are going to be, and it looks like I've got something on it. So I'm just showing you that there's already a spot on this. So that is not going to be a result of ink. But what we're going to be using today is the SG-1000 printer. This prints 13 by 19 with the added bypass tray. Now, just as the printer comes alone, it prints up to 11 by 17, which is still a huge deal of real estate. I wanted to be able to print the super big 13 by 19 paper, so I've got the bypass tray, and again, that is an added feature. We're going to be using the 15 by 15 heat press, and then I've got this easy press mat from Cricut. I was just measuring it, it's approximately 20 by 17. I think it helps to use a pressing pillow or a pressing mat when you're doing something that has seams. Now, ideally, I would like something that fits inside and lifts us away from the seams that are on the opposite side. But I couldn't find anything that quite fit this without stretching it. You don't want to stretch your fabric when you're sublimating, because then when it unstretches, your picture is going to be distorted. So you want to make sure that it's taut but not stretched. So we're not going to put a pillow on the inside, but we're going to lay it on the top, and that's going to make sure that when the heat press comes down on top of those seams, that it has a little bit of cushion, a little bit of give, so that it will go around those seams, or that's my thought process. So we'll see how that works. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing we always do is prep our product. So let's do that first. So here's our sports bra. As you can see right here, there are some spots on it. This has been sitting in a drawer, and apparently I've gotten something on it. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that if this shows up in the video, that is not ink. This has literally been sitting in a drawer. So the first thing we're going to do, as always, is lint roll. We're going to do the front first, and then we'll do the back. So I'm not going to lint roll the back quite yet. There's a little bit of a spot there. I don't know what got all over this. I wouldn't be surprised if Wrigley didn't grab it at some point. All right. So I've already printed my image on the Sawgrass. And what I like to do is use some spray adhesive to start with. So this is our image. And this is 13 by 19. Looks like I could have put another row here, but I didn't. But that's okay. I'm going to use this 505 temporary adhesive. There's lots of adhesives that you can use. I know this is a quilting one generally, and it is safe for fabric, so I like to use that one. I'll try to remember to link that. So we are going to put this face down. And this is lightly tacky, so you can move it. And this time I think I'm going to do the band as well, since we've got room. And you want to make sure that that underneath layer is smooth. You don't have any wrinkles. You want it as smooth as possible. And this temporary adhesive does allow you to kind of lift and retack if you need to. So I'm going to use some of my heat transfer tape and just make sure that this is taped into place. All right, now the other thing that I'm noticing is that we have a lot of extra here, so I'm just going to cut this off, because that's ultimately just stuff that's going to get transferred to my picture paper and possibly onto my press, and I don't need extra help with that, so we want to make sure, and I'm just going to remove it. And if I need to patch any places, I will have some extra images. All right, so we've got this tacked down. I'm going to add one more piece of tape right there. It looks like it's trying to wrinkle a little bit. All right, so if I look underneath here at the first layer, and I don't want to lift this up, but if I look underneath here, I can see that this is pretty smooth underneath, and that's really what I'm after. We'll add another piece of tape down here. Okay, so I've got our little sandwich. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the mat down on the heat press. And I'm just going to double check that the heat press can close. You might need to loosen the pressure a little bit just to make sure that that can close. So we're good there. The next thing we need is a layer of butcher paper to protect the press or protect the mat. So we don't want any ink on that mat. All right. The next thing we need is our image, and we want to put it so that the paper side is on the top. So again, that's why it's very important to tape this down. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to add just a couple more pieces of tape because I got to flip this over and I don't want it to move. So let's tape it. That spray adhesive is really great at keeping things in place, but this is just some added insurance. So here it is. Now, one question I get a lot is, do you need to put something in between? And it never hurts to put something in between your layers. It's a good practice to be in. I'm not going to do it. I didn't have any problem with the boxer shorts. But if you want to put a piece of paper in the middle when you're doing a shirt or boxers or the sports bra or any kind of garment, anything that has two layers, it's always a good idea to protect the inside. But since I've got this all taped down and smooth, I'm not going to mess with it right now. So we're going to put this on the press, paper side up. And again, we're making sure that that is very smooth. And actually, I think I'm going to be able to get all of this in one press. Let's see. Make sure. Yep. All right, so we've got the press at 400 degrees for 40 seconds. We're going to let that one side go ahead and press, and then we'll flip it over, and I'm going to do the other side. When I did the boxes, I didn't show you the other side, and there were a lot of questions about that. So it's exact same process. Once that image is set into the fabric, you're okay turning it over and repressing. The heat's not going to mess up that side that's already pressed because it's set. So let's let this finish counting down. We've got about 12 seconds. This is the 15 by 15 heat press. I love this one. I use the smaller one most of the time, but when I'm doing t-shirts or larger garments, I like to use this one. All right, so let's see what we've got. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put a piece of butcher paper right over the top. You should absolutely always do that so that ink doesn't bleed through. If you're using sublimation paper, it doesn't typically bleed through too much, but if you, especially if you're going to use the copy paper route, definitely want to use that. So I am going to quickly remove the, well, here, I'll flip it over to this camera so you can watch the process. So let's go over here. All right, so here is our image. Let's see what happens. So stinking cute. Now see, we've got on the inside of the bra, we've got the image as well. If you didn't want that to happen, you would need to cover that with paper. You can see here is our image. So how do we press the other side? So first of all, let's turn this over. We've got to throw this away. We've got ink on it. That will reactivate another project or repress another project. Let's take all our tape off. You can reuse your tape if you want. I don't particularly worry about it. All right, so again, we're going to lint roll. Always, always, always want to lint roll. All right. Now we're going to grab another print. Here we go. I'm going to put some spray on it. I typically don't like to spray on my desk mat, but for the sake of the video, I just want you to see how much. Just a light spray. Don't spray near your machines. This is an adhesive. All right, so that's tacky. So let's put this, I'm going to turn it around so I can hold it this way. So again, I'm lining up that bottom. We've got that. So you can see even the elastic takes the spray. I want to make sure that everything is flat on the inside. Try to do a better job of showing you this time. And you can see here, I missed part of the dog. That must have been the end of my print. So I could patch that if I wanted. I'm not too worried about it, but. All right, so this time let's go ahead and protect at least the inside of this bottom portion. So we don't want anything coming through. I'm going to, I'm just going to put it all the way up. So we've got a piece of paper in there to help any possible bleed through. All right, let's tape it back down. Again, we don't want anything to move. And it would definitely be easier to not do an all-over design, but I wanted to show you it can be done. All right, so again, we're all taped down. This time we want to put a clean piece of butcher paper down. We're going to put it, again, paper side up. And now we're going to put another piece of butcher paper on the top. Don't want any bleed through getting on our platen. 40 seconds, 400 degrees. Again, that image that we've already pressed isn't going to be distorted or anything because it's already set in the fabrics. It will be just fine. But you do want to make sure that you're protecting both the top and the bottom layers of the platen. Those are hard surfaces and that ink can stay on there. And then next time you press something, you could press ink into those surfaces. So we've got about 15 seconds left again. All right, so we're almost done. Got about, there we go. And again, just gonna take off our butcher paper. So you can see there's very little bleed through when you're using sublimation paper. I'll move our little sandwich over here. Switch the camera. And let's see how the backside did. I'm gonna remove that inside paper. And our tape. So there you have it. The front is still perfectly intact. Didn't distort at all. And then there's the back. So here's our finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this is a really fun project. I will put links to these in the description below. Again, here are the matching boxers. So cute. Make a his and her set. So many ideas. You could make teams. You could make, his and hers, Mr. and Mrs., bride and groom, all kinds of fun ideas for these undergarments. So super easy to make, super fun. I do recommend the SG-1000 for those larger prints. It comes out perfect every time. You don't have to worry about it. The SG or Sawgrass series of sublimation printers are made for sublimation. They run programs all the time to keep those print heads clean. And I couldn't recommend Sawgrass more than I already do. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to click that bell so that you're notified every time there's a new video. Until next time, never stop making. See ya. Bye-bye.